Hey, this is Deepak here from digitaldeepak.com and welcome to the week 11 of your training program. In this week, we are going to have a look at this concept called deep marketing automation. This is one of my favorite topics, one of the areas where I have the most expertise in, and I also believe that in this internship program, this week and the next week is going to be the most important weeks for you, and we will find out why. So let's get started. Agenda for today's training. We are going to have a look at the art and science of getting customers. We are going to have a look at attention, trust, and transaction and how all these things come together. We are going to have a look at the evolution of the sales process. We will look at sales in depth in the next week, but in this week, we are kind of going to touch upon the nature of sales and how sales has evolved and why personalization is at the heart of sales. We are going to have a look at the evolution of marketing and how sales was finally able to scale with the marketing technology. Then we are going to have a look at deep marketing, which is what we are discussing in this particular training module. And deep marketing basically combines the personalization power of sales with the scale that comes with marketing. And deep marketing is the future of marketing. If you master deep marketing, then you will be able to tap into an unlimited source of wealth. And by the end of this video, you will know that I am serious. We are going to have a look at marketing automation and business automation. I will also show you some tools in my business which I use for marketing automation. We are going to have a look at tools for marketing automation and what are the different tools that makes this possible. We are going to have a look at the importance of personal branding for deep marketing automation and why you cannot do deep marketing without having a strong personal brand. Then, as usual, we are going to focus on how do we monetize this skill. We are going to have a look at digital freelancing, digital mentoring, and affiliate marketing, and how deep marketing is going to help all these different areas. So first, let's have a look at the art and science of getting customers. The biggest challenge for businesses is getting new customers, and that is the biggest opportunity. And when you look at the largest businesses in the world, Google, Facebook, Amazon, all these companies are in the business of helping other business get customers. Driving traffic to your website is not the same as getting customers. Businesses will not pay just for the traffic. Though driving traffic is the first and important part of the equation, as a digital marketer, you have to understand that you just can't drive traffic and forget about it. You need to also help the businesses convert the traffic into leads, nurture the leads, and then convert the leads into sales. Because only sales will bring in profit, and if you cannot help a business bring in the profits, then you cannot expect them to pay you in the first place if you are working for them. And if you are doing this for your own business, you understand that traffic alone will not bring any money. And in the previous weeks, we have discussed that how people who just create content and just get traffic depend on advertising for the revenue, and display advertising like Google AdSense is not a very good way to make money, and it's not very reliable and it's not very scalable either. Traffic can be driven only if you create content. So even if you are driving paid traffic, the traffic needs to land on a page with content. So obviously content comes first, and this is where the CATT funnel takes shape. CATT is content, attention, trust, and transaction. Once you have the content, then you can drive traffic to it via SEO, Facebook ads, Google ads, social media, your community, referrals, native ads, Quora ads, and more. And when you look at how this entire internship program is structured, you would see that everything kind of comes together in a cohesive way. And we have been looking at niche first, and then creating content, and then driving traffic to it, capturing the traffic via lead generation. And now we are going to talk about trust and transaction. Traffic that lands on your website will just leave if you do not capture them. So you need to convert visitors into leads. And that is why you need lead magnets. And that's what we discussed when we talked about lead generation in one of the weeks. But once you have leads, the leads will not turn into customers automatically. Many businesses will pay marketers and agencies for leads, but only if the businesses have the capability to convert the leads into customers, they will pay you for leads. As a digital marketer, if you are helping other businesses grow their business and get more customers, you also need to focus on how you are going to nurture the leads and how you are going to convert the leads into sales. So let's have a look at the art of converting leads into customers. You need to convert the cold leads into warm leads, and it is the process of building trust. When your leads trust you, the sales will happen naturally without pressure, and I call it natural sales, which we will discuss more about in the next week. And this is why I created the NCATT framework. So it's usually the CATT framework, but in most of the cases, many businesses have already chosen their niche. But if you have not chosen your niche, then I would call it the NCATT framework, where you select the niche and then you create the content and then you drive attention to the content, you capture the traffic, then you build trust with the leads, and then eventually it leads to transaction. Digital marketing in a nutshell is just NCATT. The purpose of advertising is to get attention, the purpose of marketing is to build trust, and the purpose of sales is to get the transaction. And without the transaction, you cannot make the profits and you cannot invest it back into driving attention in the first place. Deep marketing automation is all about building trust at scale using a personalized and an automated series of messages. And that's what we are going to have a look at in this particular training module. Until now, we have learned niche selection, creating content, building a tribe, driving traffic, and then capturing a traffic, which is lead generation. And you can see how everything is coming together. In week 11, this week, we are going to learn how to build trust. And in week 12, we will learn how to transact. And that is why this week and the next week are going to be the most important. Why? Because without these 2 weeks, you cannot make a profit. And without profits, you can't have the content or the traffic in the first place. A lot of businesses I know hesitate to invest money in Facebook ads and Google ads because they don't have the budget. And why do they don't have the budget? Because they don't focus on building the trust and they don't focus on the transaction. They just keep focusing on driving the traffic, and they think that if they just drive more traffic, then their revenue will increase. I have seen a lot of publication companies where they only monetize the entire traffic via advertising, and the only way for them to try to increase their revenue is to try to get more traffic. But there is only so much traffic available out there in the world. And if you know how to profit by nurturing the leads, building trust with them, and transacting properly by having a solid sales team and sales process, then you basically have the license to get unlimited traffic, as much traffic as you want, because you can just pay for it. You don't even need to depend on free traffic sources such as social media and SEO. You can just put money into Facebook ads and Google ads and they will send you the traffic. So now whatever we have had a look at, let's put it into a framework. So the framework for attracting customers, building a community, and building a brand. So this is the framework I have built. You start with niche selection and then you create the content. But many businesses would have already selected the niche, and many businesses might not depend on content to attract the traffic. They might not be creating content necessarily to attract traffic via SEO. So leaving that aside, the core of getting customers is to drive high traffic, capture it, get the leads, do deep marketing to the leads, and then get natural sales. And in the meantime, you are building your tribe, because without tribe, you don't have anything. Tribe becomes your biggest asset. So this is the golden triangle. Drive high traffic, do deep marketing, and get natural sales. And whatever we have seen until now, we have covered niche selection, content, driving traffic via various methods, building a tribe. And now we are having a look at deep marketing. And now then in the next week, we are going to have a look at how to get sales naturally without too much effort. So if you want a roadmap of where you are and where you are going, this is the roadmap, and this is how we progress. You can even take a printout of this and put it somewhere, because if you just stick to this framework, then your business will thrive. So I call it the light at the end of the funnel. And you might heard about the concept of and you might have heard about the concept of funnel. And what do I mean by the light at the end of the funnel? So it's just a twist on the term, the light at the end of the tunnel. I call it the light at the end of the funnel because a lot of businesses do not take it all the way to the end of the funnel where the transaction happens, and they do not take the customer journey seriously. They do not understand the customer journey. And if you build the funnel properly, then you will find the light at the end of the funnel. So most of the businesses assume that they just need to create a product or service and then the customers would come to them. And we all know that so many startups fail because they just can't get in the sales. They spend years trying to perfect the product without going to the market. And once they present it to the market, people don't buy. And then the businesses complain that, hey, people don't understand the value I have created. And then they blame it on something else. A good marketing funnel first acquires the customers, builds a community, understands the needs of the customers, and then creates a product that perfectly fits the needs. And that is why advertising is just part of the marketing process. Marketing also involves understanding what customers want in the first place. And if you want to know what customers want in the first place, then you need to do your niche research properly. Then you need to build a community, interact with the community, and then go ahead and create a product. And that is the process of marketing. And in this internship program, you have learned about tribe building, you have learned about understanding your customers, you have learned about niche selection, and all this is important even before you try to come up with a product. You don't come up with a product or a service and then try to get marketing and advertising to sell it. It doesn't usually work that way. And even very big companies have failed. Like for example, when you look at Motorola, they invested $3 billion into developing a satellite phone technology where this particular phone will work anywhere in the world and it does not need phone towers. It will receive signal from the satellites directly. It would work in the North Pole, it will work inside the jungle. And this phone was a little bit bulky, it was big, it was heavy, and it was also very costly. And once Motorola finished developing this product, they found out that nobody bought it because apart from adventurers and apart from scientists and apart from people in the peripheries of the society, nobody really took it seriously because most of them are inside the city and most of them get network in their phones without needing to have a satellite phone. And this is a typical example of a very big company failing because they did not do the market research properly. And you know my story as well, right? I went ahead and launched my first course, which was the Google Ads Mastery course, only after building a community first. I had a community of a few hundred people on my Facebook group, and then I went ahead and asked them what they wanted. I understood their needs. People said this is what they wanted. And even before launching the product, I actually sold the product first. I got pre orders and then I created the product. If you understand this, then there is no way to fail because you will be failing only if you create a product and then fail to sell it. What if you don't even create the product? What if you sell first and then create the product? There is no way to fail. So once a good product market fit is achieved, then everything else can be automated. And that is what I am doing right now. A marketing funnel is a mechanism to get attention, build trust, and encourage the transaction automatically and at scale. And you know how I have built my marketing funnel, right? And recently I also conducted a webinar on how to build a profitable funnel. You can check out my YouTube channel for that particular video. And the idea is that once you create a marketing funnel, then it works without you being there. And right now, as I am creating this video, there might be a bunch of people who have clicked on my ads, who entered my email funnel, who have started watching my videos, and I might even have some people who are transacting with me right now completely on automation. So your goal should be to build a marketing funnel that runs automatically. It's like a money machine. You put $1 on top and then you get $2 in the bottom. And then you put $2 on top, you get $4 in the bottom, and it keeps rotating like that. So just as I described, as I am creating this video and talking to you, people are seeing my ads, subscribing to my newsletter, entering my funnel, trusting me more, and some are even transacting with me. And how great is that, right? I'm not just making money while I'm sleeping. I'm making money while I'm doing something else. I will be making money even if I'm on a vacation. So if you build this right, you will find the light at the end of the funnel and you will find a lot of wealth. So now let's have a look at why most marketing funnels do not work. And I know that funnels are a recent phenomenon, and a lot of people have been focusing on funnels, but the effectiveness of funnels have definitely gone down, and let's have a look at why. Many marketers have felt the frustration of the marketing funnel not working properly. They are driving the traffic, they are generating the leads, they are putting people through a standard drip marketing sequence, but the sales are not coming in. Most marketing funnels do not work, and some have even said that funnels are dead. One of the reasons why marketing funnels do not work is because there is no personalization. People are just broadcasting the same message to all the people, and that is one of the reasons funnels have lost its effectiveness. And in this video, you will understand what the solution to this is and why we are going after deep marketing, which is basically marketing at scale with personalization. Without personalization, you cannot make the funnel effective. People will only listen to you if they feel like you are talking to them. Even if repeated messages are sent, the communication falls on deaf ears without personalization. Deep marketing is not the same as drip marketing. You might have heard about the term drip marketing. So, drip marketing basically means that you are setting up a sequence of messages which will be sent to the customer automatically after they opt in. And we might have had a look at it a little bit when we talked about the lead generation concept. But deep marketing is not the same as drip marketing. Drip marketing is going to be the same for all the opt-ins. Deep marketing is going to be different for each and every opt-in that comes into the funnel. Drip marketing has started losing its effectiveness at scale because of the sequence of messages are the same for all the subscribers. Some call drip marketing as marketing automation, and I strongly disagree, right? Marketing automation and deep marketing automation is a completely different concept which you are going to learn in this particular training module. In fact, I am so much in love with the concept of deep marketing that I have even decided to write a book on deep marketing. And right now the book is in progress. I registered the domain name deepmarketing.com. It was not free to register. It was a premium name. I purchased deepmarketing.com, and I might even, kind of bring a new term into the market. And I might be known for deep marketing, and it also sounds like Deepak marketing. So I think this is going to be my core competency area. So this is the deep marketing blueprint that I have conceptualized and developed. And here you can see that the basic idea is that you are going to capture the leads, which is lead generation. You are capturing the traffic and converting them into leads. And then you are not just sending the message to the leads. You are actually going to segment the leads based on the information that they have given you, and also based on the behavior. And then you are going to have two segments, which is segment A and segment B. And segment A gets a different message and segment B gets a different message because now they are segmented, they are different. And this is like a simple representation of what is deep marketing and what is the idea behind deep marketing. But in reality, you might have a lot of segments. You might have A, B, C, D, and you might have A, C, B, C, or different combinations of the segments as well. So to understand the effectiveness of deep marketing, we need to understand the evolution of sales. So now I'm going to kind of go back into history and tell you about how sales evolved. Then I'm going to talk about how marketing evolved, what is the benefit and advantage of sales, what is the benefit and advantage of marketing and advertising. And then I will tell you how both of these things come together to create deep marketing automation, and how deep marketing automation kind of combines the power of sales and marketing and brings best of both the worlds. So this foundation and understanding is very important for you to understand the effectiveness of deep marketing before we get into the techniques of deep marketing. So understanding the sales process. Sales has existed long before marketing and advertising was born. Marketing and advertising is a recent phenomenon, and by recent I would say that it was born in the past 300 to 500 years. Before that, sales was always there. Marketing is called marketing because in the early ages, items were sold in a marketplace, and items were sold in bulk only when market squares started happening and people started living in villages and in large groups, right? So there used to be a place where people gathered, and there was a marketplace. So that is how the word marketing was born. Sales was usually done one to one, and no one dreamed about selling at scale, and no one dreamed about selling in mass. So marketing and advertising was born when publications were born. Publications were born after the invention of printing press in the 17th century by Gutenberg. But even before that, people were doing advertising, but it was more like hoardings and stuff. But when publications were born, newspapers started circulating, and people found out that hey, you can put a sales message on the newspaper or on the publication and send it to a lot of people, because a salesperson can only talk to one person at a time or a few people at a time. But with the print circulation, you can talk to a lot of people at the same time. So, for the first time ever, a sales message could be circulated to a large number of readers, and they called it salesmanship in print because for the first time, a sales message can be replicated and distributed using print. And people found insane power with marketing and advertising, and suddenly it got a lot of traction. The term copywriting was born, and the ad was copied across multiple prints. That's why it is called copywriting. So now let's have a look at the art and science of selling. And before we get into marketing and advertising, let's look at sales itself. And we will talk about sales much more in depth in the next video, which is week 12. But let's just have an overview about sales. Most of the salespeople in most of the organizations are not actually trained in proper sales methodologies. Many people think that sales is just about contacting the leads and persuading them to buy the product or service. But sales actually involves understanding the prospect's needs, pain points, desires, and then presenting the product as a bridge between their current state and their desired state. So everything that is sold in the world, including Rolls Royce, iPhones, Lamborghinis, or even as something as simple as, let's say a toothpaste or a soap, everything takes people from the current state to the desired state. They buy to get to a state where they want to be better. It could be tangible or it could be intangible. To establish current state and desired state, one needs to ask a certain set of questions in a specific order, and the product has to be presented in a specific way. And that is what sales is all about. And how we do that is something that we will discuss in week 12. But you just have to understand that this is what sales involves. Sales, persuasion, and copywriting concepts will be covered in depth in week 12 of this program, as I just described. So I have developed this blueprint called Natural Sales Blueprint, and I call it High Traffic, Deep Marketing, and Natural Sales for a reason, because it's attraction, then trust, and then transaction. So in week 11, we are looking at developing trust, which is the deep marketing blueprint. And to go ahead and sell, you need the natural sales blueprint. And here we are basically getting people from their current state to their desired state, and we are placing the product in between as a bridge. But the sales process also involves separating the current state and desired state and increasing the tension and giving an incentive for the prospect to buy your product, which we will discuss in depth in the next week. But now that you understand that there is something that is inherent with sales, which is personalization. And without personalization, sales cannot work. And to understand how personalization is involved in sales, let's look at the concept of door-to-door sales, right? And I'm pretty sure that in your life, you might have had a door-to-door salesman who knocked at your door and tried to sell you something. And let's go one step deeper and let's look at the entire situation from the shoes of a salesperson. Because even if you are never going to do door-to-door sales, understanding what is involved in door-to-door sales is very important to become a good marketer and to become a good deep marketer. So let's look at door-to-door sales, right? So door-to-door sales was the earliest form of salesmanship. And by default, the sales was personalized because the salesman would have a clear idea about who the target prospect is, and the sales pitch would be modified accordingly. So to give you an example, let me talk about a vacuum cleaner salesman. A vacuum cleaner salesman is going door to door and trying to sell the vacuum cleaner. And he would be giving a different sales pitch according to who the target audience is. And let's say the salesperson knocks a particular door, and an old couple opens the door. And here the salesperson would give a pitch like, hey, you guys seem to be pretty old, and you are in the retirement stage. He might not tell it explicitly, but understanding the situation of the old couple, the salesman would say that the vacuum cleaner will save you a lot of time. If you clean the house manually, then it's going to be backbreaking. It's going to be a lot of hard labor. So why don't you guys invest in a vacuum cleaner so that the cleaning is automated and your life becomes easier at an old age? So this is what the salesman would say, because this is an old couple. However, let's say the salesman knocks the door and there is a young couple living in that house, and the woman opens the door and there are two kids running around. So here the guy is not going to say that, hey, it might be very difficult for you to clean the room because you are old. The salesman is not going to say that. The salesman is going to probably change the pitch a little bit because the target customer now is different. And if there are kids running around in the house, the salesman would probably say that if you use a vacuum cleaner, then you can kind of suck out all the invisible dust that is there, because taking out all the invisible dust in the house is very important to prevent dust allergies, especially for keeping the children healthy. And when this particular sales pitch is given to the customer is more likely to buy because the sales pitch is customized according to who the customer is. So this is the basics of sales, right? When sales is done, it is going to be personalized. And now let's have a look at the concept of inside sales. So what is inside sales? Many products and services do not need in-person meetings, right? You don't need to sell door to door. You don't need to meet the client at their place. High value items like cars and homes needs a meeting. Big B2B and enterprise deals need meetings, usually as a team, to close the deals. But many products do not. Software products, digital marketing services, online education, training products can be sold via phone sales. And sales via phone or video conferencing calls are called inside sales because you do the sales from inside your office or home without having the need to visit the prospect in person. And that is why it's called inside sales. Inside sales can be cost effective and can give a great ROI with a small but efficient sales force. And especially when you are trying to increase the value of your goods, you need inside sales. Like, for example, imagine that if I am trying to sell my digital marketing services and not just my digital marketing training, and if my digital marketing services is costing, let's say, 3 lakhs a month, without a one-on-one meeting, without having an individual sales call with a person, I can never sell it because it's a high value product. And in the lead generation module, you might have learned about how B2B sales and B2C sales are different. And the more you go towards B2B and enterprise, the more personalization and one-on-one sales you need, and one-on-one attention is something that is required to convert the prospect into a customer. So inside sales and sales methodologies, which is the natural sales, which will be covered in week 12. But I'm talking about sales right now because I want you to understand why sales is effective in the first place. So to sell effectively, you first need to nurture the leads, right? And to have one-to-one conversation with them, you need to generate a lot of leads and nurture them. So even if I am selling, let's say, my digital marketing club or alpha club, which is going to be, high-end products, and if I have to get one-on-one inside sales team to sell all this, then I need to nurture the leads first. So nurturing can be done on automation using deep marketing automation. And that's what we are going to have a look at in this particular week. And that's what is going to be the most powerful in your entire marketing arsenal. So now that we talked about sales, let's talk about the evolution of marketing and advertising to understand why marketing and advertising has kind of picked up steam in the past 100 years, and why people actually think that marketing and advertising is the way to scale up business revenue. So this is the world's oldest ad. It's a bronze plate. It's for Liu family needle shop in China, and they created this bronze plate, and they probably put it out as a hoarding or they circulated it. I'm not sure. But even before printing press was invented, according to Wikipedia and according to the records we have, this is the world's oldest ad. And this is the ad for Pierce soap. In 1900, they created an ad, which is like a print ad. And the first daily newspaper was called the Daily Courant. I hope I spelled it right, or the Courant. And only when the newspapers started and there was a daily newspaper, the concept of advertising was born, because now you could put a sales message in the newspaper, and instead of doing door-to-door sales and instead of going to people one by one, you can actually spread it. So here you can see that an ad for an ad agency in 1903. and this particular ad agency has been running it since 1864, and they are running an ad for a copywriting service to write ads like this. So basically it says forceful advertising. The strength of the copy often measures in the pulling power of the ad. In the preparation of copy, we have had nearly 40 years of practical experience. We can prepare copy for you that will be strong, forceful, convincing. We can place the copy in publications best suited to your business, and we can take your advertising appropriation and make of it a profitable investment instead of a speculation. Shall we show how to do it? So this is an example of a powerful ad copy, and ad copywriting is something that we will learn in the next week apart from sales. And good copywriting is basically getting the attention, and if you are good at sales and if you are good at communicating a powerful message, then you can put that message into a communication medium, and you can see how it scales. So what we are having a look at is that marketing basically gave birth to salesmanship in print. And Lasker, Albert Lasker, so he had an advertising mind, and he kind of had an idea about how it worked. And he met another person called John E. Kennedy, and you can look up these people and read more about them on Wikipedia. And John E. Kennedy and Lasker kind of joined hands, and Lasker believed that advertising is like news, but Kennedy kind of put it very accurately, that news is a technique of presentation, but advertising is a very simple thing, right? And he said advertising is basically in three words is salesmanship in print, right? You are basically selling one to one, but now you are trying to put it in print so that it can circulate to a large amount of audience. So the pair used this concept with the 1900 washer company, later called Whirlpool, and you might have heard about Whirlpool company. And the campaign was so successful that within 4 months of running the first ad, they attracted so many sales, and their advertising spend went from $15,000 a year to $30,000 a month, and this was 1900. And imagine $30,000 a month 100 years back is more like, I don't know the exact numbers, but it could be more like $3 million a month, and that's a lot. And within 6 months, their firm was one of the three or four largest advertising agencies in the nation. And this is according to Wikipedia. And they say that the fastest way to create wealth is to turn advertising into a profit. And if you know how to turn advertising into a profit, you can create wealth very fast. So what we are learning in this internship program is basically wealth creation. And if you crack this formula, if you build a right funnel, you can basically become very, very wealthy if put into use rightly. It takes 3 months to go through the entire internship program, but it can take a lot of years to master, because you need to keep trying, and keep experimenting with things, and let all this kind of get absorbed in your mind very deeply to become a master at it. It takes 10 years to gain mastery in one subject. I have been in digital marketing for the past 15 years, and I still feel that there is a long way to go. So hopefully you will not take that much time, because obviously I was very distracted. I did not have guidance. I did not have the right mentors. But if you just focus on this, in the next 10 years, you will be able to create insane wealth for yourself. So the challenges with shallow marketing, or the challenges with marketing and advertising, right? And if you ask me what is the difference between marketing and advertising, I would say that advertising is a part of marketing. It's a small part of marketing. But what is the problem with the marketing, which I call it as shallow marketing? So when marketing and advertising became possible with the invention of media, it was a blessing for many brands, because now they can scale their sales message. But at the same time, the sales message was not personalized. Companies were no longer restricted with the amount of salespeople they had. Media was able to amplify the sales message, so everyone jumped in on the trend. With time, it has become inefficient because too many people have started advertising, and everyone wants to profit and get the attention of people. So when media was born, when newspapers were born, and then radio, and then TV, the companies which tried to put an ad initially profited a lot, because the amount of competition was less, and there was huge problem with manufacturing, and there were challenges with creating products and manufacturing. But today, manufacturing and creating products have become easy because of the globalized economy and because of supply chain management and everybody focusing on different things. And we have countries like China where everything gets manufactured. So even if you want to go ahead and create your own brand of TVs, your own brand of phones, you can basically outsource it to China. So creating products are no longer a problem. So in the past 100 years, everybody had started focusing on advertising, and everybody wanted to profit and get attention of people. So people wrote sales messages, and people put ads on TV, newspaper, radio, magazines. But the biggest problem is that it has become too much now. According to Forbes, experts estimate that most Americans are exposed to around 4,000 to 10,000 ads each day, and that's a lot of ads. I couldn't find any numbers for India, but you can expect that India being an economy, a capitalist economy just like America, we can expect that even we are exposed to thousands of ad messages every day in one form or the other. So this has, given to new problems such as ad blindness. When was the last time that you looked at an ad on a newspaper? When was the last time that you actually paid attention to an ad that was running on TV? We have this ad blindness where we are basically irritated by ads, and ads have also become less of giving a sales message and more of attention grabbing, irritating kind of media pieces, right? They have music, they have jingle. I mean, when you think about it, people have become so desperate for getting attention that they are ready to do anything to try to get your attention. And when you look at many ads, they are like actually lame. When you look at it, imagine a door-to-door salesperson going to different houses and trying to sing a song. How stupid it would be. And nowadays ads do that. There are some jingles in the ad, and they just try to get attention. Some ads are just funny, right? Some people try to use humor in ads and try to make you laugh. But what's the point? I mean, people who are advertising, they are not in the stand-up comedy business, but they try to be. Imagine a salesperson doing door-to-door sales and trying to crack jokes. People will not take him seriously. In fact, people might throw him out and think that he is mad. But that's what is happening right now, and that's because the reducing effectiveness of ads over time. And what is the solution to all this? That is deep marketing automation. So as internet users, we have started to hate ads because it is not personalized and most of the time irritating, right? And deep marketing and marketing automation is something that could not have been used in newspapers, TVs, radios, and magazines because there was no way to know who was the person who is watching the ad. The internet is completely different. Most of the traditional marketing mediums that you see, which is TV, radio, newspapers, and magazines, is a one-way communication medium. And if at all there is any two-way communication, then it would be in the form of letters to the editor, where the readers would send back letters to the editor, and then it would get published in the next month. But here you can go ahead and post a comment on the internet, and it would get published immediately, and somebody else would respond immediately. Imagine having to wait 1 month to just get your response published. It might look very awkward and stupid right now, but this is how it was when magazines were published. In probably just 10 years back, 15 years back, people used to wait for almost a month for their responses to be published. It's just like a comment on a blog post, but that is as much two-way communication as they had. So it was mostly a one-way communication medium. It was like a broadcast medium, and because it was a broadcast medium, first of all, people cannot respond, and second of all, the companies do not know who is watching the ad. Like for example, let's say there is an ad for Gillette razor blade on TV. The TV does not know whether a woman or a man is watching. Like for if my mom is watching TV, she would probably not gain any usefulness by seeing an ad about men's razor blades. And if my dad is watching the TV, he would probably not gain any benefit by watching an ad for women's products, right? So since there was no way to know who the target audience is, there was no way to personalize the content, and that is why deep marketing was not possible with traditional marketing. But the internet is a two-way communication medium, and with the internet we can find out who our audience is, and we can collect more information about our audience. And when we have more information about our audience, we can personalize the sales messages and the communication to them. And that is what deep marketing is all about. But unfortunately, most of the marketing agencies and ad agencies in the country today are not pure play digital marketing agencies. They are traditional ad agencies, and they just try to treat the internet as one more channel, and they treat the internet as a huge advertising board, like a billboard. So advertising agencies go ahead and create print ads for newspapers, and they put the same ads as banners on the internet. They go ahead and create TV ads for newspapers, and then they put the same ads as YouTube ads. And radio ads have probably become like podcast ads, and hoardings have again become like banner ads on websites. And the whole internet is spoiled because the advertising agencies and the people from the previous era just don't understand that the internet is a two-way communication medium, not a broadcast medium. Now that the internet has two-way communication capabilities, now that the internet also gives you capability to understand who your prospect is, generate leads, and understand more about them, what is the point of just broadcasting a message? And that is one of the reasons that people are very irritated with ads, because there are just too many ads out there, and these ads are not personalized. This communication is not personalized. And if you have joined this internship program, you probably know how I communicated, right? I am not just going ahead and pasting ads all over the place. If at all I'm advertising my content, and I'm collecting a lot of information, which is lead generation and lead enrichment, etc. So that's what we are going to dive deep in this particular video, and we are going to learn not just what is deep marketing, but how to execute deep marketing. And to understand that, I wanted you to understand sales, I wanted you to understand marketing, and then we can bring the both together. So this is the problem that has existed until now. Sales is personal, but it will not scale. Marketing will scale, but it will not be personal. This is the problem that everybody is facing. And how do you bring both of the things together, right? How do you get the best of sales and marketing? And the answer is deep marketing automation. Deep marketing automation is combining the best of both the worlds. It's the yin and the yang, and that is why it is very, very powerful. So let's have a look at getting the best of both the worlds using deep marketing automation. Deep marketing automation gives you best of both the worlds, the personalization of sales with the scale of marketing. For a salesman, the personalization is natural because he knows who the prospect is. But for a digital marketer, knowing the target audience is important. Just having the contact details will not be enough to personalize the communication. That is why you need to collect more information using their behavior, but also using their information. Forms that collect more information about the prospect will be helpful in personalizing the communication. A survey form usually works best, and segmentation is the key here. And that's what we are going to have a look at in this video. Once data is collected using a survey form, the data needs to be passed on to the CRM or email marketing tool, and custom fields for every contact holds the personal information. And you are going to go ahead and send out the messages according to the segmentation that you have done. So basically, you are using the scaling power of marketing, but you are also using the personalization of sales by creating a system where the system will automatically go ahead and segment the people, and then it will send the messages automatically. So the word deep in the deep marketing automation is basically about segmentation, right? It's deep, it's nano targeting, it's very personal, it's very, very narrow and targeted. And automation basically because the sending of the messages is not manual. You are not going to go ahead and find out who your prospect is and send out different messages manually. And if you do that, then it is just sales, it's not marketing. So if you want to bring the scale of marketing with the personalization of sales, then you do deep marketing automation. So when sending out email campaigns, the data in the custom fields can be used to personalize the communication with the lead. This usually results in a very high engagement, and I will show you behind the scenes of my business how I use deep marketing and how I am getting basically like 2 times the open rate of other businesses because I am personalizing the communication. So I wanted to show this to you again, the deep marketing blueprint. You are capturing the traffic, converting them into leads, but most importantly, you are segmenting them. Then you are putting them into segment A, segment B. For segment A, you are sending a separate message, and for segment B, you are sending a separate message. Now let's talk about the partnership between the man and the machine, which I feel is the perfect partnership. Let's have a look at the earliest form of partnership. What was the earliest form of partnership? it was basically a loudspeaker. The man or the human being used the loudspeaker to amplify his or her message. But imagine if the human had the power to send a different message to each and every ear that is hearing the sound that is coming from the loudspeaker, how powerful it would be. Basically, the machine is not doing any work. The machine is not creating the content. The human being is creating the content. The machine is just amplifying it. In this week, when we are talking about deep marketing automation, we are basically looking at a technology where the machine will not just amplify our message and send it to different people, but it will also customize the message along the way. So that is the power of deep marketing automation. We keep talking about the age of artificial intelligence and robots. In the movie like iRobots, it is usually depicted as humanoid robots walking around just like humans. But in the real world, robots need not look like humans and they don't need to walk around like humans. While human looking robots might be good for movies, in the real world, robots just need to perform a function which is automation. Artificial intelligence is nothing but a series of IFTTT statements, which is basically if this, then that. Even humans perform with if this, then that. For example, if you look at a door, then if the door handle is there, then twist the handle. If the handle is twisting and if the door is open, then push the door open. Then walk in. So whatever we do is also a complex set of if this, then that statements. And if you create enough of such statements, then that is what basically is artificial intelligence. And that is what robots and automation is all about. When we talk about automation in marketing, these are robots hidden as code inside the servers. They perform an action that we want based on a specific set of rules. And you are having a robot right in front of you. It is a computer. And there is a software inside this computer. And when you hit play button on the video plays. So it is basically robots. When it comes to marketing and sales, only a human can sell to another human, right? You cannot have a robot sell to another human. And a lot of people keep asking me, Deepak, will artificial intelligence replace digital marketers in the future? The answer is no, because a human has to go ahead and communicate with another human. The robots and artificial intelligence and automation can help. It can not just help amplify it, but in this day and age, it can also help customize it and scale it to millions of people. But a human has to communicate. So there is content and then there is code. Content is human and code is robotic. The code helps us amplify the content, and every marketing tool is a robot that is going to work for you. And that is the kind of perspective and mindset that I want you to have when you are approaching this entire subject. So let's have a look at marketing automation tools. And this is the most important part of this entire video. We are going to have a look at different marketing automation tools that will help you do the marketing automation activities. And I will show you some of the tools that I have been using as well. So the first is email marketing tool and CRM tools. We have tools like ConvertKit and ActiveCampaign, and we have plenty of other tools as well, but I'm going to only mention a few of the tools that I use for my business. Then you have data collection tools. We have data collection tools like Google Analytics, Facebook Pixel, and a bunch of other tools. We have data capture tools such as Typeform. Then we have integration tools like Zapier, which will connect different tools together. Then we have SMS tools such as SMS Horizon, which will send out SMSs to people. You have call automation tools such as Obliger. These are specific to India. And then we have website messaging tools like Intercom. We have landing page personalization tools like WriteMessage. And we have mobile messaging tools like Telegram. So now let's go ahead and have a look at all these tools. And I will also show you how I use these tools in my business and how I use marketing automation and deep marketing to make my marketing messages very effective and to automate a lot of business processes. And after we have a look at all these tools, we will get back to the slides and look at a few more concepts before we wind up with this video. Let's have a look at some of the marketing automation tools I have mentioned. And I will also show you how I apply deep marketing automation techniques for my business to increase the efficiency of my marketing campaigns. These are the same techniques that I apply for my clients as well who work with me in my digital marketing agency. The first tool is ConvertKit. I like ConvertKit because the deliverability of the emails are very high, and ConvertKit also gives you the option to include conditional content inside the emails. Conditional content basically gives you a way to customize the content based on each and every subscriber and the data that is attached to a subscriber. So let's have a look at this particular email, which sends out the message that your internship application has been approved. Here you can see that I have added certain segments as the target subscribers. Let's click on next step. And here you can see that in this email, it says, congratulations, your internship program application has been approved based on the details you have given us. And here is what we know about you. So here it says you are a subscriber.int status, your goal is subscriber.int goal, and your biggest challenge is subscriber.int wall. And there is a very high chance that if you are in the internship program and if you are watching this video, you might have got a mail which is very similar. But when you got the mail, it would have been very simple because it was targeted to you and it was relevant for you. But behind the scenes, there is a lot happening. So here you can see that there is conditional content. So conditional content based on subscriber tags. So if the subscriber.int status contains student, then this is the content that I want to give them. If they are a professional, this is the content that I want to give them. And if they are an entrepreneur, then this is the content I want to give them. So if you had applied for the internship program and if you have received an email and if you are an entrepreneur, then you would not receive these two blocks of content. So how do we create such type of emails which is customized to each and every subscriber, and how many combinations of these unique emails are there? So before we get into that, let's first have a look at Typeform. And Typeform is the tool that I use to get applications for my internship program. And one of the easiest ways to collect more information about a lead apart from their name, email ID and phone number is to use an application form. So when people apply for my internship program, they go ahead and give out a lot of details. So here you can see that they give the name. They also give me data whether they are a student, professional or an entrepreneur. And then you can see that there is an option which asks, once you have mastered digital marketing from me, what do you want to do next? So I'm basically looking for their goal. So it says get a digital marketing job, become a digital marketing freelancer and consultant. And there are 6 options here. And I'm asking for the topics that they are interested in. And then I go ahead and ask what is their biggest challenge: procrastination, lack of quality and actionable content, lack of guidance and mentorship. And then I ask for the email ID, name and phone number, and that's about it. I end the application form. So once people fill up this application form, I use this tool called Zapier. So Zapier is a tool which will connect 2 different apps. So I capture the data from Typeform and I send it to ConvertKit. So I'm not going to cover the entire process of setting up a Zap and connecting ConvertKit and Typeform in this particular video because then it will become too long. So what I have done is that I have created 2 courses. So one course is exclusively about Zapier, and then I also have a course called Digital Marketing Tools Mastery. So I'm going to keep the explanation of all the different tools short in this particular video because in this video we are not necessarily looking at how to do it and we are more looking at the entire concept of deep marketing automation on a understanding level, right? I want you to understand the concept before you know how to use the tools because the techniques and the application of the tools will keep changing, but the overall concept remains the same. So I'm going to give you access to Digital Marketing Tools Mastery, which has a lot of marketing automation tools included in it. And I'm going to give you access to the Zapier Mastery course as well, in which you will be able to understand how to use Zapier step by step and how to connect different apps. In fact, using Zapier is going to be part of your assignment as well. So I use Zapier to capture the data and put it back into ConvertKit. And let's go ahead and have a look at a specific subscriber. So each and every subscriber has some unique custom fields inside their particular subscriber data. So if I go ahead and open, let's say this particular subscriber, Selvam, and I'm not sure whether this particular subscriber is part of the internship application. So I will go inside this particular section and pick out an email ID and go ahead and search here. So this particular person has applied for my internship program, and you will be able to see that the subscriber has custom fields inside his database, right? So here you have email address, first name, and then I have a bunch of other unique custom fields. But the most important custom fields related to the internship program application are int goal, int status, and int wall. So int goal is basically their goal. So in Typeform, whatever data I collect about their goal is coming as int goal, and whatever they enter as student, professional, or entrepreneur comes as int status, and int wall is basically their objection. So I have kind of created my own custom fields, and if I want to add a new custom field, I could just click on add a new field. So this particular subscriber has all the data captured in it. So as soon as they enter their details in Typeform, the data comes back into ConvertKit. And what happens is that if I go inside broadcasts, and if I go inside this particular email, you can see that the conditional content that I have created has a set of if else statements. So it says that if subscriber dot int status contains student. So if the custom field contains student, then I am saying that ConvertKit go ahead and display this block of content. And then you have else if subscriber dot int status contains professional, then it will show this block of content, else this block of content, and then I am putting an end if statement. So this is like coding, but not necessarily coding, right? I am not a programmer or coder, but the basic if else statements is like coding only. So you don't need to know programming and coding to understand this. We are basically putting if else statements. And what you need to do is that if you are using ConvertKit, then you just need to follow the syntax here. If you just search for conditional email content based on tags, then you will find this particular page in which it says that, this is how you do it, right? It has also given you syntax. So unless subscriber tag contains, or if subscriber dot tag contains, and here we also have the syntax based on custom fields, right? So if subscriber dot first name equal to blank, then show this, else if, end if, else. So all that syntax is there. So what I did was that I basically copy pasted the syntax and I put it back there. And you can also do it based on tags. I'm doing it based on custom fields. So you can see that there is another section. If subscriber int goal contains start a new digital marketing agency, then show this content block. Then if it says subscriber int goal contains grow existing business, then show this block. If it is job, then show this block. I'm also showing a social proof of a previous intern who got a job. So now you can see the kind of personalization that is involved in the email campaign. If they have said that they are a student, then the email is relevant to students. If they have said that they are an entrepreneur, then the email is relevant to entrepreneurs. And if they have said that they wanted to get a digital marketing job, I'm showing social proof of a previous intern who has got a job because of my internship program. And this is the only kind of content that particular person will be interested in, because this person has said that my goal is to get a job. So the testimonial is also related to a job. And then if your goal is to earn from blogging and affiliate marketing, then I'm showing social proof of a person who has earned from affiliate marketing from the previous batch of the internship program. And then for freelancers and consultants, I have a different social proof. And then I get into the objections. So basically, this particular email has 90 different variations, which means that there is a variation of 3 into 5 into 6. Basically, 3 different statuses, 5 different objections, and 6 different goals. So when you look at that, we are looking at 90 different combinations of emails that is being sent to people. And if you look at the open rates of such personalized emails, it's very high. So apart from the mail that I sent, which is a broadcast email, I also have created an automation. So simple automations are very simple. You just create like a email sequence, which is basically drip marketing. But what I have done is that I have created a drip marketing sequence and I have customized the information inside the drip marketing sequence, which I call deep marketing. So here you can see that as soon as someone applies for the program, it says application confirmation for students, professionals or entrepreneurs. So basically it includes subscriber.in status here. So this particular custom field will customize the content, but based on the custom fields, I can also put if else statements, and I can also go ahead and give content which is conditional. So here you can see here there is no conditional content. It just pulls in the custom field and puts it here. You are at this, your goal is this, and your biggest challenge is this. But here in this section, there are if else statements, which means that it will customize the content. And then when you look at the second email, which it says, do you want to subscriber.int goal? So here you can see that they say that, I want to get a digital marketing job, or I want to become a digital marketing freelancer and consultant. So here it would say, do you want to become a freelancer or consultant? Do you want to get a digital marketing job? So the subject line will also contain the data that they have inputted in the form, that they have input in the form. And that's why the open rates are very high. So I have created an email sequence with so many custom fields where each and every email has some form of custom field in it. So if you go ahead and look at reports, you will be able to see that the first email has 82% open rate. The second email has 52% open rate. The third email has 46% open rate, and then 49% open rate, 41% open rate. You don't see this kind of open rates with any email campaign if it is not personalized. If you go back into broadcasts, let's have a demo now. So this particular tool will also show you how the email will look for each and every person, each and every subscriber. So what I will do is that I will just click on next here, and I will pick out a particular email ID from here. So here you can see that this particular person, Satish S. Verma, has said that he is a professional and he wants to grow existing business with the power of digital marketing, and his challenge is procrastination. So let's copy this email and let's put this email here. So ConvertKit will give you an option to preview based on the subscriber. So if I click on this subscriber, and this subscriber has to be existing inside the database of ConvertKit to look at the sample. So you could see that now it is replacing the custom content. So hello Satish S. Verma. Here is what we know about you. You are a professional. Your goal is to grow existing business with the power of digital marketing, and your biggest challenge is procrastination. So now that this person has entered all these details, he is getting an email which is very personalized to him. And he is also seeing this conditional content which is unique to him. So here it says, since you are a professional, since your goal is to grow your existing business, and since your challenge is procrastination, this internship program will push you to take action, because with every assignment submission you will learn, which is basically motivating you to complete the assignments and learn through the program. So now let's take a different email ID. So if I send out a broadcast to this email ID to people, then each and every person is going to get a different email. That is the beauty of it. So there are 90 different variations of it. So now let's put a different email ID, which is Pankaj, and let's have a look at how the email will look for Pankaj. So Pankaj says that he is an entrepreneur, and then the other two fields are the same. So here you can see the conditional content for entrepreneur is different, and then you have the same content here. So now let's do one more before we move on. Let's look at a student. So this particular email ID is of a student, and they have said that lack of implementation is the biggest challenge, and they want to start a new digital marketing agency. So this is another email ID. Let's select, and here you can see, hello Kushbu, you are a student, you want to start a new digital marketing agency, and the biggest challenge is lack of implementation. So we have student, we have the content piece which is related to agency, and then we have the content piece which is related to lack of implementation or practice to learn digital marketing. So this is deep marketing, and this is how we do deep marketing. And most of the deep marketing concepts are covered just using the tools ConvertKit, Typeform, and Zapier. And we also have SMS automation tools such as SMS Horizon. And in my digital marketing tools mastery, I have explained more about this. And you can even use deep marketing with the SMS that you send by customizing the content. This is Obliger, which is a call automation tool where you can automate the calls, and obviously you cannot customize the data inside the calls. There is no custom fields for that. But if people sign up for your form, you can pass on data using Zapier, and then you can make sure that people are receiving a call. Then you have Intercom. Intercom is a website messaging tool, and it has custom fields. And here you can see, hey, first name, welcome to app name, author name, and you can basically create pop-ups like this inside your website where you are basically communicating with your users based on a certain set of rules, whether they are visiting for the first time, second time, third time. And you can definitely explore Intercom. If I start explaining Intercom in this particular video, then it will become like a very long video. So I want to keep this video conceptual while you can go ahead and explore these tools and understand how to use marketing automation with these tools. Then we have Write Message. Write Message is a very important tool, and I have not completely implemented Write Message for my website yet, but I am definitely in the process. And what Write Message does is that Write Message will integrate with your email marketing tool like ConvertKit, pull in the custom data, and just like we have customized the emails that we are sending, Write Message will customize your website for you. So Write Message will remember the custom tags and unique fields that each and every subscriber has in the CRM. And if that particular subscriber visits the landing page, then you can change the landing page according to who the subscriber is. So let's say I'm creating a landing page for my internship program. And if a student visits the landing page, then the message will be different. If a professional visits the landing page, the message will be different. And I can even create 3000 different combinations of the landing page based on the data that my user gives me. Then you have Opt-in Chat. Opt-in Chat will also collect further information about your audience and from your leads. So you can add additional content inside Opt-in Chat. You can go ahead and put custom fields. It will pass the data back to ConvertKit. So that's about it for this particular section of the video where I have explained how deep marketing works. I have explained the core of the concept, but I definitely want you to explore Zapier and understand how you can do a bunch of marketing automation tasks using Zapier by connecting different apps, and you can pull in data from Typeform, put it on Google Sheet. You can integrate payment gateways. You can integrate your payment gateway with your email marketing tool. You can integrate your payment gateway with your SMS tool, and the possibilities are limitless with marketing automation tools like Zapier. And then go ahead and have a look at the digital marketing tools mastery, where I have pretty much covered all the different types of tools needed to execute your digital marketing campaign. So with that being said, let's get back to the slides and cover a few more concepts. Marketing automation also helps in lead scoring. And I want to tell you what lead scoring is and how it is going to be useful. So what is lead scoring? Though marketing automation helps in nurturing the leads and converting cold leads into warm leads, it doesn't do the selling by itself. Especially when the ticket cost of the product is high, you need to do inside sales or in-person sales. When you have a lot of leads, finding out the most serious leads from the junk leads cannot be done without marketing automation. So what we need to do is that we need to put all the leads through a funnel, and as they go through the funnel, we are going to observe their activity, and we are going to find out who are the hot leads, and then the sales team is going to engage only with the hot leads. Many CRM tools will help you score the leads based on the lead activity within the funnel. For example, you can give 1 point for every email open and 3 points for every link click. And each and every lead will have a different score, and the leads with the highest scores are basically the leads that you have to take seriously. The more the score of the lead, the more engaged they are, and better the chances that they will convert into a buyer if the sales team engages with them. And lead scoring is a advanced concept, and I will be covering lead scoring in my marketing automation internship program in the future. In fact, lead scoring capabilities are not even available with tools like ConvertKit. When you look at very advanced CRMs like Marketo, ActiveCampaign, and Salesforce, they have lead scoring capabilities. And for the sake of keeping this particular internship program a little bit simple and not too overwhelming, I will not be covering lead scoring in this particular video. Now let's talk about the importance of personal branding for deep marketing. A lot of people think that they can do deep marketing automation without having a strong personal brand. But the problem is that a logo or a company cannot do sales. Sales is always done by a human. When marketing and advertising became popular, it lost the human touch. And this is where we talked about how certain ads have jingles and have comedy in it, which feels very unnatural. For commodities, you do not need a human face, but for most of the products, trust is needed, and it is always easier to build trust with a human face. Elon Musk is the brand behind Tesla and SpaceX, and Jeff Bezos is the brand behind Amazon. Steve Jobs was the brand behind Apple, and these companies are definitely more successful than their competitors. When you look at their competitors like General Motors, Nokia, BlackBerry, I don't even know who founded these companies. I cannot put a face to it. Many of these big companies are failing and some of them have failed, and we can see that there is no personal brand behind it who is taking accountability and responsibility. So a lot of people keep asking me, is personal brand very important to be successful in business? I wouldn't say that you can never succeed without a personal brand, but if you have a personal brand, then the chances of success are way higher than not having a personal brand. When you do deep marketing, the communication cannot come from a company. It has to come from a person, and the person needs to have a brand. That is why personal branding is very important. And you know that throughout this internship program, I have given a lot of importance for branding. A lot of importance for personal branding. And we will have a separate week about personal branding where we will go very deep into how you can, create yourself as a brand and become a very strong personal brand. Now let's talk about deep marketing automation for affiliate marketing and how we can use it for affiliate marketing. If you do not have your own products and services yet, deep marketing automation can be one of the best methods to generate revenue by promoting others' products and services. Most of the affiliate marketers out there try to make money just by driving traffic to their affiliate links. They drive traffic via paid advertising, and sometimes they try to get traffic to their websites via search, and then they just put affiliate links all over their website. But there is a better way to do affiliate marketing. You can do lead generation, you can build a community, you can collect more data about the leads, and based on what the lead behavior and the lead data is, you can push products via email to them. For example, when people sign up for my free digital marketing course, in one of the emails that I send out, the email asks whether they have a WordPress website already set up. If they click yes, I tag them accordingly and send out emails with promotions related to premium themes and WordPress plugins, because for someone who already has a WordPress blog, what they might be looking for is premium themes and premium WordPress plugins. However, if they click no, I send them links to my hosting recommendations. There would not be any point in promoting themes and plugins to someone that doesn't even have a WordPress website. So here you can see that I am basically using a simple automation of understanding whether they have a website or not, tagging them accordingly, putting a custom field in their subscriber data, and then I would trigger emails accordingly. The segmentation is done automatically and messages are sent automatically, just like a salesperson would do it in person to a prospect. But here we are using marketing automation for it. So what I will do is that I will create like a separate video where I explain how tagging and email trigger works, where you can send out emails on automation. Let's have a look at digital freelancing opportunities in deep marketing automation. Digital freelancing opportunities in marketing automation. Most of the businesses do not have an idea about what you have learned in this training module, and they can benefit a lot from deep marketing. And I can be very sure that most of the businesses will not have time to go through my internship program, to go through videos like this and understand how deep marketing can be executed. You can provide deep marketing automation services as a freelancer or as an agency for other companies and brands. But one of the challenges that you will face in this process is that not everyone understands the importance of deep marketing and marketing automation. Just like a while back, people did not even understand the importance of digital marketing. And people were just going ahead and trying to get customers via traditional advertising. And then digital marketing became famous. Everybody started doing digital marketing. And now companies are looking for digital marketers, such as digital marketing managers, and then they look for digital marketing agencies. A lot of people tell me that the digital marketing market seems to be very crowded and there are so many suppliers and vendors. How do I compete with them? So, if you want to compete, then try to build your personal brand and try to build your agency brand as someone who can do deep marketing automation. And in the future, I am even planning to certify agencies and freelancers for deep marketing because I feel like this is a concept that I am basically perfecting and not necessarily invented, but I have definitely perfected the system. So if you can do that, then you will be able to have a unique position in the market, and with this you will be helping businesses make profit. You might need to start with a consulting call first and educate them about deep marketing first, because without customer education they are not even going to understand what deep marketing is. And you have to tell them how to do it, and the best way to educate them and show them how it is done is to implement it yourself first. So it would help if you are already providing them with traffic and lead generation services, then you can add deep marketing automation on top of it. The beauty of deep marketing automation is that it requires a one time setup. Once you have set it up, it can keep running for years like a well oiled machine. And whatever I showed you in terms of setting up a deep marketing automation sequence for the people who apply for my internship program has been set up several months before. And every day I'm getting hundreds of leads into the funnel, and every person gets customized communication from me, and I don't need to do anything about it. It keeps working without me having to touch anything. So now let's have a look at deep marketing automation for digital mentoring. And this is one of the most exciting parts because you can see that I am a trainer, and apart from running my digital marketing agency and my consulting, I teach people on digital marketing. And for me, deep marketing is a core part of my mentoring. So when you are a mentor, you need to be available to your students and followers. You need to be, constantly communicating to them. But you cannot always do it manually. If you want to become a true digital mentor, you need to create the digital version of yourself that will mentor your students. What do I mean by digital version of yourself? You don't need to be present all the time to your students because your digital version that you have built will be hard at work mentoring your students. I did not name myself as Digital Deepak because I am in the digital marketing niche, and a lot of people don't know that. I am creating a digital version of myself that communicates with you. Think about it. Apart from the live webinars that I do from time to time to show the world that I am real, all my content is digital, and even this particular video that you are listening to right now is the digital version of me talking to you. I am not talking to you right now in a live phone call. By the time you are watching this video, I might be doing something else. I might be sleeping, I might be vacationing, I might be spending time with my girlfriend. I could be doing anything. I could be playing games on my PlayStation. But the digital version of me, which I have created, is now mentoring you, and that is Digital Deepak for you. I call it the ghost in the machine. It is the soul that drives the automation. And when I say man plus machine, the man is in a form of a ghost, right? I created the ghost form of a man so that that person can go ahead and do the work for me. So when you are becoming a digital mentor, when you are becoming an online trainer, and if you take the marketing automation and deep marketing automation seriously, then you are going to create a version of yourself which is a digital version of yourself which will go ahead and do the work for you. And it's basically like cloning yourself, and the machine is replicating you and your message and training students for you while you can do something else. And this is how wealth is built. And they say no, that if you become wealthy, then you don't need to work for money, that money will work for you. Here we don't have the capital. Most of us who are watching this video, we are starting from scratch. All we have is time, a computer and an internet connection, and we have our skills. So we don't have the capital right now so that we can make the money work for us, like just investing somewhere and forgetting about it. But what we can do is that we can create a digital version of ourselves and get the digital version to work for us. And I always say this when people ask me, Deepak, why don't you raise capital for your startup? I don't need capital because I am the capital. That is the mindset that I have. So now what I'm saying is that the digital version of me that I have created, all the content that I have created, is the capital that I have created, which works for me even if I don't work for it all the time. And this particular video will be watched by thousands and thousands of interns who are currently in the internship program in different batches, and probably lakhs of people who are going to be part of this program in the future as well. Right? So if you think about it, then it's actually a mind boggling concept. And we will talk more about it when we get to the digital mentoring internship program. And we will also talk more about it when we get to the module on digital marketing in this particular internship program. So, time to become a king with an army of robots. And what do I mean by becoming a king? So, long back, kings were kings and aristocrats because they had an army of people working for them, often at no cost. And that is why they were able to enjoy abundance and luxury. But it was in a way that they took away the abundance from other people, and other people had to work as slaves or for very low wages under a king who was controlling everything. But today, we might not become kings like the old rulers, and we don't even need to exploit people, but we can become kings in our own world with an army of robots working for us. All the automation and technology that is around us are the robots who will work for us. And these robots do not need food, they do not need maintenance, they don't have any family. All they need is a little bit of electricity to work and a little bit of instruction, such as if else statements. All the marketing automation tools that sends out email, shows the ads, engages people, collects payments for me, delivers the goods, asks for students' feedback, all are robots working for me, and they do not cost much. You can become rich beyond your wildest dreams because you can scale the value creation with your army of personal robots working for you, and they will run inside servers 24/7 even when you are having a vacation, right? So that is the power of automation, and that is the power of marketing automation. And I hope that this video has expanded the amount of ideas and the kind of outlook that you had towards digital marketing. So now it is time for taking some action. So what are the next action steps? So in this video right now, I will just outline what are the action steps that you have to do. But we will also have an assignment explanation video where I will go deep and explain how you can do the assignments. So everything starts with having more data about your leads. So now you have to create a form with multiple segments of data, and you can use Google Forms or Typeform. So previously in the lead generation module, you would have just collected name, email ID, and maybe phone number as well. But now you have to start collecting more data. Sign up for a Zapier account and set up a simple automation that will pass the data from your form to an email marketing tool with custom fields. So Zapier has a free trial, MailChimp has a free trial, and most of the tools that I will be asking you to tinker around and experiment with will have free trials. Create a mailing campaign with conditional content and come up with custom content for at least 3 different segments. Sign up for an InstaMojo account so that you can collect payments from your customers. If you do not have anything to sell, you can give something to download for free, like a content piece that you have written. You can convert it into an ebook and you can put it there. I want you to have an InstaMojo account because I'm going to teach you how to set up marketing automation and business automation, so that once a customer purchases something from you, you can deliver them the product, you can follow up with them, you can give them a call, you can send them an SMS, everything automated. You can connect your InstaMojo account to Zapier and then to MailChimp to automate a few tasks. And I'm going to ask you to sign up for writemessage.com. It has a free trial again. And I'm going to ask you to set up a new CTA funnel with personalization. So that's about it for week 11, deep marketing automation. I'm sure that you are pumped up, your head is buzzing with ideas, and you are feeling invincible. Now let's have a break. Let's go ahead and focus on the tasks. You can go ahead and think about it. You can watch this entire video again if you want. And then we will move on to the final class of the internship program, week 12, where we are going to focus on how to do sales. I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.